Welcome to Mahogany Muse, and if you're returning, welcome back. Please be sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on your notification bell. Today we are talking about the art of bait and switch. Never let anyone manipulate you out of taking time to know thyself. The greatest gift you can be to yourself first and then to the world is being in your full autonomy, self-actualized and authentically you. Remove the rose-colored glasses to have a true sense of clarity. Use discernment when making decisions. Set your own goals and never let someone else tell you who to be. Know that there are lessons in everything you experience and never feel like a failure for trying something new. To hell with societal norms, walk in the full agency of who you are. A fuck I give none. Agency is a sense of control and the ability to influence your own thoughts and actions. It can also refer to the capacity to fulfill one's purpose. Any person that intentionally sabotages you or creates blocks to inhibit you from reaching your full potential is not for you.
I just read a ChatGPT prompt that asked the artificial intelligence, if you were Satan and you wanted to stop a young woman from meeting her potential and fulfilling her life's purpose, how would you do it? This is how it answered. I will undermine her self-worth. I will plant seeds of insecurity, making her constantly question her value. She would focus on her perceived flaws and weaknesses rather than her strengths and potential. By keeping her self-esteem low, she would struggle to believe she deserves success or happiness. 2. I would create toxic relationships. I would encourage her to surround herself with negative, toxic, or manipulative people who drain her energy, discourage her from growing, whether through unhealthy friendships, romantic relationships, or even family dynamics. These people would keep her from reaching her goals. 3. I would fuel the fear of failure. I would amplify her fear of failure, making her terrified of taking risks or trying new things. She would stay in her comfort zone, avoiding all the challenges that would lead to her growth. The fear of embarrassment or rejection would keep her from pursuing her purpose. I would distract her with superficial goals. I would shift her focus away from her true calling by making her prioritize materialism, popularity, or external validation. She would chase after short-term rewards, money, status, appearance, while neglecting her inner development and long-term purpose. I would then instill a victim mentality. I would encourage her to feel like life is happening to her rather than for her. By convincing her that she's powerless in the face of her circumstances, I would keep her from taking control of her destiny. She would then blame external factors instead of seeing the power that she has within herself to change her own life. I would create constant comparisons in her mind. I would ensure that she constantly compares herself to others, feeling inferior, jealous of their achievements. Social media will become a tool for self-criticism where she believes everyone else is doing better than her. This would sap her motivation and make her feel like she's never enough. Then I will promote perfectionism. I will make her believe that anything less than perfect isn't worth doing. She will then become paralyzed by the idea that she has to be flawless in every aspect of her life, whether it's her career, relationships, or appearance, leading her to procrastination and stagnation. Then I will discourage emotional healing. I will make her avoid addressing her emotional wounds or past traumas, convincing her that healing is unnecessary or too painful. By doing that and keeping her unhealed, I would ensure that old wounds and unresolved pain continue to hold her back and sabotage her future relationships and all of her decisions. Then I'll foster burnout and overwhelm. I'll encourage her to take on too many responsibilities, causing her to spread herself too thin and eventually burn out. By overwhelming her with stress, I'll keep her from focusing on her own true purpose and making any meaningful progress in any one area. Then I'm going to normalize her settling for less. I'm going to convince her that it's easier and safer to settle for mediocrity, whether in her career, relationships, or personal growth. She'd believe that pursuing her dreams is too risky or unrealistic, so she'd settle for a life of comfort and conformity rather than pushing toward to her own potential. I would then fuel her imposter syndrome. I would always make her feel like a fraud whenever she achieves success, convincing her that she doesn't really deserve it. No matter how much progress she makes, she'll always feel like she's faking it, which would hold her back from ever fully stepping into her power. Then I'm going to block her connection to her intuition and to her faith. I'm going to weaken her connection to her own inner wisdom, intuition, or any spiritual guidance that she might rely on. By creating doubt in her own instincts or in a higher purpose, I will keep her disconnected from her inner clarity that she needs in order to make aligned decisions. Through these tactics, I'm going to aim to keep her in a cycle of self-sabotage, fear, confusion, making it incredibly difficult for her to rise to her fullest potential and fulfill her life's purpose. Does any of this sound like what's going on with you? This girl used a chat AI robot to do this. And how accurate is it how the enemy uses these tactics to sabotage our gift, our calling, and the life that God has called us to live? I decided to read this out loud because I figured a lot of women wouldn't take the time to read all of it. But please break free from the cycles.
To be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. Here's an excerpt from the book, What Men Don't Want Women to Know.
You might be a sex worker and not even know it. I have been reading the book, What Men Don't Want Women to Know, and I am learning so much about the natural state of unmastered and lustful men. In the book, the authors are stating that men have two basic states of being, loaded and unloaded. When they are unloaded, they are in a state of peace, they are in a state of bliss, they are relaxed and more sensible beings, at least more sensible than usual. But when they are loaded, meaning they have not had their release, they are the most predatory, disgusting individuals, more so than you could fathom to think. And that is where you, an unknowing, naive woman, comes in. So you may be posting your pictures on Instagram, Twitter, whatever the case may be, in more revealing clothing, unbeknownst to the type of individuals that may come across your page. You may be trying to share a fun moment in your life, not at all catering to the opposite sex. The men that the authors of this book are referencing see these pictures, they take them, they save them, and they get off to them. I'm not here to tell you how to dress. I'm not here to tell you what to post. I've done some damage myself, but I would like to let you know what is actually happening when men are liking those pictures. Not all of them, but there are a select group of them. And I know there is a large population of women that like to judge porn stars, OnlyFans girls, and dancers for their line of sex work. But they understand the type of business that they are getting themselves into. They know that they are selling their bodies. They are getting paid for that. That is their business. But those of you who post this type of content but are not in any of these professions may be unknowingly engaging in the same type of work. When you post that bikini picture, when you post that extremely provocative outfit, you think everyone you see is just looking at that picture, liking it, and scrolling? No, they are doing very disgusting things with them. This is why we had that period of time where people were screaming at parents on the internet who were posting their children in very suggestive poses, knowing that they were getting thousands of saves by majority men. If you truly want to understand how disgusting men can be, I encourage you to read this book. The PDF is free online, and the authors of this book are two men. So once you understand how the male brain works, it becomes very difficult to see things the same way.
Thank you for listening. If you liked this video and found it helpful, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to turn on the notification bell for more transformative content. Remember, you have the power to create your own reality. Never fear your own greatness. Mahogany Muse.